You're listening to Kerry Lutz's Financial Survival Network, where you get valuable information you just can't find anywhere else. To thrive in today's trying times, you need the Financial Survival Network, now more than ever. Go to financialsurvivalnetwork.com and get your free newsletter and gift. Financial Survival Network, now more than ever.
And welcome. You are listening to the Financial Survival Network. I'm Kerry Lutz. Well, big news. If you owe money, then you want to hear this. Even if you don't owe money, you still want to hear it. If you're concerned about your credit score, if you're concerned about your ability to get credit, then you need to hear what we're about to talk about. Our good friend of the show, Paul Oster, is on with us now. And Paul, you are an expert, obviously, in credit. Your firm, Better Qualified, has been helping people fix their credit, restore their credit for over a decade now. And so tell us, what's the deal with credit reporting and medical debt?
So the big news here is that the big three repositories, TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian, have agreed to either stop reporting paid medical collections, not report medical collections that are under $500, and to not report medical collections before they've been in a collection status for at least 1 year. Previously, it was 6 months. And we all know by the time you sort out the insurance debacle and billing inquiries and all that stuff, 6 months is a blink of an eye. So those three things combined are really, really good news. I just want to, make sure that the message is very clear. This does not mean that you can't or you don't have to, pay your medical bills.
Right. You're still obligated, but the penalty often for not paying your doctor or your dentist, whatever, was a blemish on your credit report. So that's not going to be the case anymore.
Right. For anything under $500 or if you've already paid it. So unfortunately, right, this is when you talk about the magnitude of this problem, you have about 43 million Americans that have medical debt to the tune of about $88 billion. The average medical debt on credit reports right now is right around $500. That's the average. So all the people that are below $500, this is a really good thing. If you owe more than $500 in one collection, then you're going to have to figure this out sooner than later. And this is where I tell everybody, Kerry, I'm not saying to panic, but now is the time to put some type of plan together. We all see inflation. The prices are going through the roof. Interest rates are going up. And the lower your credit score, the higher your rates are going to be. So get a copy of your credit report. We still have the ability to look at our credit reports every 7 days for free under the CARES Act. Because of the pandemic, the CFPB, Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, the FTC, they changed the access to annualcreditreport.com. Annualcreditreport.com. That's the website that you can get a copy of a free credit report. BC, before COVID, it was once every 12 months. Mm-hmm. Under the CARES Act, it's every 7 days. And I'm not saying you have to look at your report every 7 days, but get a copy of the report, go over it with a fine-tooth comb, make sure all the information is 100% accurate. And if you have any type of collections or late payments, now is the time to certainly deal with it.
All right. So in New York, there's been talk of eliminating making essentially medical bills uncollectible, meaning you can't sue, can't use collection agencies and all that, kind of a step towards socialized medicine. Think that's going to happen nationwide?
I do not. Look, it's unfortunate that the costs for healthcare have spiraled out of control. I don't know whose fault that is, but the reality is the providers of healthcare, the doctors, the nurses, the facilities, the hospitals, the ambulance, they have to get paid. They have costs associated with what they do operationally. So they're just like any other creditor. They provide a service. they need and want to get paid. Now, if you want to change the approach to that, then that's where to start. But, in terms of billing and collecting, I think we're a long way off from seeing a law that actually says that they can't try and collect on the monies that are owed to them.
Yeah. And well, look, most people now are covered by the government. I got to share a story with you. I was in the hospital with COVID, rang up a 6-figure bill for 6 days. Wow. And the company I used, it's a healthcare cost sharing entity, paid the hospital $17,000. Everyone seemed to be happy about it. I never heard anything else about it. So we're living in that kind of environment here, Paul.
Don't just survive, thrive. The Financial Survival Network.
Goldterra Resource Corp is a gold exploration company that has assembled a highly prospective district-scale land position on the doorstep of the city of Yellowknife in Canada's Northwest Territories. Goldterra is currently focused on expanding and delineating gold resources at the company's Yellowknife City Gold Project, with a goal of discovering over 5 million ounces. With ready access to infrastructure and multiple high-grade gold discoveries, Goldterra is on track to re-establishing Yellowknife as one of the premier gold mining districts in Canada. Goldterra trades as YGT in Toronto and YGTFF on the OTC. For more information, go to goldterracorp.com. That's goldterracorp.com.
This is the Financial Survival Network, the information you need to thrive now more than ever.
Again, there's no doubt that there will be some type of modification. They have to do something. It cannot continue to spiral out of control, or people, that we won't get the services provided, and nobody will be able to pay for it, and who knows what happens at that point. So we'll definitely see a different landscape. I just don't see the powers that be being able to again pass a law that says that these companies can't collect.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how it shakes out. This kind of reminds me of back in the Obama days when the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau was created. They basically said any debt under $50, has to get removed. And just because somebody doesn't pay their medical bills doesn't necessarily mean they're not going to pay their credit card bills or their mortgage, right?
No, that's right. So there have been studies and some data that's collected, and that's what it shows, that medical debt is not a good predictor or indicator of somebody's overall credit worthiness and their ability or willingness to pay other debts. So, they use all these surveys and data to figure out how to charge us more, use the same surveys and data to figure out what should and what shouldn't be. So this is definitely a good thing for consumers. All
right. Well, we can look forward to this. Hey, so probably going to raise credit score as the net result, right?
Yeah, there's no doubt, a collection, and it doesn't matter if a collection is $5 or $500, $5,000. When an account goes into collections, 30 days late, 60, 90, 120, typically after 120 days, it's going to get reported as a collection. You're looking at no less than 50 to 100 point drop just from one collection. So the other message is, if you do know that you have medical bills that you're incurring right now, or you've had them in the past, and you're going to have trouble paying them, reach out to the creditors. The worst thing that we do as consumers is we go into bunker mode. We don't want to answer the phone. We don't open the mail, forget about answering the door. But if you reach out to these creditors, a lot of them will accept a forbearance, a deferment, or some type of credit management plan, a repayment plan, because as long as they're getting paid, believe it or not, they don't want to have to report you to the credit bureaus, because it costs them money for the privilege to be able to report people to collections. So if they can avoid that, and they know that you're going to pay them, it may just take a longer term than had they originally thought, most of them are willing to work with you. So reach out to the creditors, get into a payment plan that you can afford, and start making the payments. And look, it is what it is. It stinks that this type of thing happens. It's one of the top reasons that people have to file for bankruptcy is because of health care and medical debt. So it's a harsh reality, but it is our reality. And the last thing you want to do is to hurt your credit, because your credit score is going to cost or save you money for everything else that you do. So now that same debt is you're getting, it's almost like getting, the double whammy.
I gotcha. Makes total sense. So I'm Joe Sixpack out here. I've got medical debt coming out the wazoo, and it's supposed to be automatically removed. But of course, you know how those things work. What do you do?
So again, be proactive, keep an eye on your credit reports, speak to the creditors, get everything in writing. Do not take anything, verbally over the phone. And again, make sure that you're proactive about doing this. Look, and I said this yesterday, the credit bureaus are notorious for talking out of both sides of their mouth, saying one thing, doing the other. So this all sounds well and good. I hope it's not smoke and mirrors, but the reality is, as a consumer, we are in control of our own destiny. We cannot, the government's not going to help us. The banks aren't going to help us. These medical billing companies, third-party collection companies, no one is going to help us. So we have to help ourselves.
All right. I like it. Paul, people want to find out more about you. If you want to repair your credit, how do you get in touch with you, Paul?
The easiest thing to do is just go to our website, betterqualified.com. Again, that's betterqualified.com. And as always, if you get a copy of your credit report, we will analyze it for you for free with you. Let's look for the red flags of identity theft. Let's look for things that we can help you correct, which will lead to higher credit scores. And we do that absolutely free. The consultation and credit analysis is always free at Better Qualified.
All right, excellent. Well, there's a link in the show notes to this interview on Financial Survival Network. Make sure you go there, sign up for your free newsletter. Paul, always a pleasure. Thanks so much for stopping by. I'm sure we'll be talking to you again soon, because credit is always a fluid situation. If you got a question for Paul, you can always shoot me an email, kl@kerrylutz.com. We'll make sure you get an answer. Paul, we'll talk to you again soon.
Thanks, Kerry. Have a great day.
Thanks for listening to Kerry Lutz's Financial Survival Network, your solution to today's trying times. For the latest, go to financialsurvivalnetwork.com. Financial Survival Network, now more than ever.